Oh, hello! I didn't see you there. And still can't, because that's how cameras work. Today's story comes to us from Grimm's Fairy Tales. Now, Disney has never adapted this story, and probably never will, because it's batshit insane from start to finish, and every character in it is a monumental asshole. This is Hans the Hedgehog. Once upon a time, there was a farmer who had money and land, but he was unhappy because he did not have a child. Or maybe he was unhappy because the story specifies that the rest of the village just gives him endless shit for being childless.
Hey, how's it hanging there, Limp Dick Bill?
Well, that does it. I will have a child, even if he's a hedgehog.
What? Are you expecting me to give birth to a hedgehog?
No, I'm saying that's like a worst-case scenario.
And so, of course, she gave birth to a baby whose upper body is a hedgehog and lower body is a human, which is a weirdly similar description to Sonic the Hedgehog, if you think about it.
So, hedgehog, huh? How's labor? Normal?
They named him Hans the Hedgehog because they had no imagination, and made him sleep on a pile of hay because they didn't want his spines to ruin the good sheets. Hans grew older and a little wiser.
Mother, father, I've realized that you don't like me very much, so I've decided to live in the woods forever. I just need a few things.
Oh, my son, I would give you anything. Anything in the world. If it would make you leave.
I want a set of bagpipes, a rooster with iron shoes like a horse, and a couple of pigs.
Not money, or survival gear, or food?
No, just the aforementioned collection of bullshit, thanks.
And that collection of bullshit he got. Truly a starter kit for the most annoying noise in the world.
Well, he's gone. But don't worry, we can have another child, even if it's a bowling ball covered in chainsaws, right, honey? Sweetie?
And it's at this point that we get this whole completely unnecessary subplot where Hans raises a bunch of pigs and then slaughters them in a great big piggy bloodbath, and great, cool. So, one day, a king wandered into the woods, lost, trying to find his way back to his kingdom.
Excuse me, hedgehog man on a rooster in a tree? Yes, you. Could you tell me the way home?
Of course, if you promise to give me the first thing that greets you when you arrive.
Now, this is exactly the kind of contract you never want to agree to if you're in a fairy tale. But the king figured, hey, this is a bagpipe-playing hedgehog man on a rooster living in the woods. Chances are, this dude is fully illiterate, which is also what most people think of you when they have a contract for you to sign, so remember to read that thing.
Okay, I'm writing up the contract exactly as we discussed, as far as you know.
Hans showed the king the way home, and before too long, a second king shows up, raising major questions about the geopolitical boundaries of this area. Anyway, this king gets the same offer from Hans, but he enters into the agreement honestly. Both kings return home, and both are greeted first by their beloved daughter.
Don't worry, Daddy tricked a weird hedgehog bagpiper in the woods, so legally you won't be required to marry him.
Why is that a thing I should be worried about?
Exactly.
So you'll probably have to marry a strange hedgehog bagpiper man because Daddy got lost in the woods again.
Now, the first king told his guards that if they happen to see, I don't know, some kind of hedgehog man riding a rooster, they should kill him on sight. But Hans just flew over their heads and into the king's room.
Ah, hello again, Hans. I understand why you're here, but you see, I don't think you read the terms of the contract.
It seems Hans had been tricked, but he had a clever counter scheme. Or I guess not really a clever counter scheme.
I'll kill you! I'll kill you and your daughter if you don't honor our verbal agreement. What kind of game you playing at here, man? Does this look like I'm playing?
And right about now, you start thinking, shit, Hans sucks too. But just in case you thought, oh, maybe the first king is the secret hero of this story.
Please don't kill me! Take her! Take my daughter! Just let me live.
Hans rides away in a carriage with the princess. But this isn't the end. As punishment for trying to cheat him, he strips the princess, pokes her with his quills, and makes her walk home bloody and naked. She didn't even do anything wrong, just pure psychotic behavior from someone who, until now, was the plucky underhog of the story.
Whatever, I've got a date with another princess.
Here, the king's daughter willingly agreed to marry Hans.
I don't want to get hurt by your quills.
Well, I guess I could take off my skin.
I'm sorry. You could do this the whole time?
Do what?
The palace guards burned his skin, and he was, forever after, a regular dude. Nope, that's not the end either. Many years later, Hans traveled back to his village.
Hey, it's me, your son.
Impossible! My son was a hideous hedgehog man and a horrible musician. You seem to be just one of those things.
You wanna come live in my castle?
Why not?
And that pathetic little exchange is the end of our story. And so, the shitty jerk parents go live with their shitty jerk son and his miserable wife in a stupid castle that they conned out of an idiot king. Great story, right? You know, for all its insanity, it still has more in common with the real world than a lot of other fairy tales. Everybody is cruel, punishments and rewards are doled out indiscriminately, and just like the real world, the bagpipes seem to serve no purpose at all. The end.